Hi, Melissa. There are probably few topics when it comes to babies that are as controversial as vaccines. I vaccinated each and every one of my children according to the schedule that's recommended by the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, and the AAP, because this is what my doctor recommended. My doctor's view was that not vaccinating is actually much riskier than vaccinating. But that's just me. This is the choice that I made, and this is a very personal decision, and you have to get informed, seek out different points of view, and make your own decision on this very, very crucial issue. It's been a lot in the press over the past few years, et cetera, et cetera. Find out and figure out what's right for you. What this show really is about is to introduce these different vaccines and to talk about the schedule that's suggested by the CDC and the AAP, so that when you go in for your doctor's appointments, if you choose to vaccinate, you'll sort of know what's in front of you. Because I know personally that when I went in, and I do come from a family of doctors, so I should have done a bit better at this, but I would see all these things and it was like Greek to me. I was like, Hep B and this and that, and I had no idea what all of it meant. So that's really the point of this show. And the first thing we're going to do is list out what are the appointments at which these vaccines are going to take place. Because during your baby's first year, you're going to be going to the doctor all the time. Not just in order to have your baby be vaccinated, if you choose to have your baby be vaccinated, but also because you and your doctor are going to be keeping very close tabs on your baby, watching her weight, how she's eating, how she's doing generally. So let's just start with these doctor's appointments, and at which of these appointments is your baby going to be receiving a vaccine. The AAP recommends that your baby be vaccinated over the course of 5 or 6 visits during the first year of your baby's life. When your baby is 1 month old, when he's 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, maybe when he's 9 months, and again when he's 1 year old. Trust me, it does not seem like it when you're talking about shots, but before you blink, that baby is going to be 1 year old. It's going to happen so fast. So now let's get right into the nitty gritty and start to go through each of these vaccines and what they're vaccinating against. So here we go. Hep B. This vaccine offers protection against hepatitis B, which is a liver disease. The baby gets vaccinated 3 times over the course of the first year. The vaccine is given at birth, again between months 1 and 4, and between 6 and 18 months. ROTAVIRUS. This vaccine protects against a severe stomach virus, and the baby gets vaccinated 2 to 3 times over the course of the first year. It's commonly given at 2 months, at 4 months, and again between months 6 and 8. DTAP. This vaccine covers diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis, all very severe illnesses. The baby gets vaccinated with this 3 times over the course of the first year. It's given at 2 months, at 4 months, and at 6 months. So you might already be noticing that there will be a lot of overlap, and it might be that at a single appointment your baby will be receiving multiple vaccines. So you have to kind of be checking out your little guy or girl as they come home from the doctor's office with their Dora or their Spider-Man Band-Aids. There might be some very mild fussiness or irritability, in which case your doctor might prescribe an infant-safe medication. But if there is any sort of extreme or abnormal reactions in your view, you should be in touch with your doctor right away. Okay, let's get back into our vaccines. Hib. This vaccine protects from the bacteria that is the leading cause of meningitis. The baby gets vaccinated 3 to 4 times in the first year. The vaccine is given at 2 months, 4 months, sometimes at 6 months depending on the brand, and again between 12 and 15 months. Pneumococcal. This protects against meningitis, pneumonia, and blood and ear infections. The baby gets vaccinated with this 4 times over the first year to year and a half. It's given at 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, and again between 12 and 15 months. IPV. This vaccine protects against the virus that causes polio. Polio was very common among prior generations before vaccines. The baby gets vaccinated with this 3 times between birth and the first year to year and a half. It's given at 2 months, 4 months, and again between 6 and 18 months. Okay, I know this all seems like a tremendous amount and very overwhelming, and you're asking yourself, how am I going to take my cute little tiny baby in there to get all these shots, and how's the whole thing going to happen? So I just thought I'd talk a little bit about my experience with having brought my own kids in to get these shots and what I've sort of learned to do. Now, what I do is I kind of try to figure out at the end of the appointment whether there are going to be some vaccines, and then I ask the nurse where the vaccines are going to take place. And ideally, if they are taking place on the upper arm, I try to get my baby ready and as dressed as possible. I put back on the diaper, the onesie, the pajama. I get her all ready, not the coat, but everything's ready, the diaper bag's ready, the stroller, all ready to go. And then once the nurse has given that vaccine in the upper arm, I'm serious, right onto the boob or the bottle. Have your boob or bottle ready. That is the best way to soothe your baby. Bingo, you got to be totally prepared. Do not have your baby vaccinated and hanging out there naked and then you've got to put on the diaper, get her dressed. No, 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 no. So that's the first thing. The second thing I do, and it's probably not necessary with such a young baby, but I actually do hold the baby and use my arm to cover her eyes so that she doesn't see the shot. It's very young and it probably wouldn't happen, but I just don't want her to have any sort of negative associations from having seen these shots. And when my other kids are there, I try to kind of leave them playing like this, and I just like turn away and I ask the nurse to kind of come in over here because I also don't want them to see these huge needles coming at them because I think it's going to freak them out. Okay, MMR. This vaccine protects against measles, mumps, and rubella, 3 very serious diseases. The baby gets vaccinated with this one time between 12 and 15 months. Varicella. This protects against chickenpox, which is generally mild, but can lead to severe illnesses in infants. I had it myself. The baby gets vaccinated with this one time between the first year and 15 months. Hep A. This vaccine protects against liver disease caused by the virus hepatitis A. The baby gets vaccinated with this beginning at the first year of age. Okay, lastly, a word about the flu or influenza vaccine. My doctor told me that he preferred that my baby did not have this vaccine before 6 months of age. However, he said that the baby was very susceptible to getting the flu, so he recommended that all my other children and I get this vaccine. And then, since it was still flu season for some of my children, he recommended that the baby do be given this at 6 months, and my kids actually got a booster after that at 7 months of age. So that's the flu vaccine. Okay, I got to check my notes here to see what else I have. This is a very complicated show. Oh, this is really, really important. If you're super organized, and I was not this organized, I'm fairly organized, but if you're super organized or you travel a lot, take that little card that you're given, which is an immunization card, and bring it to each one of your children's doctor's appointments. And then you'll have your own nice little record of every time your baby was vaccinated. This can be really helpful if you travel to exotic locations, or God forbid, if there's some accident, it would be really nice and easy for everybody to know, here's exactly what the immunizations are that this child has received. So anyway, this was a summary of vaccines. I really wish you the best of luck and the best of health for your young baby, and good luck getting through all these doctor's appointments during the first year.